Hello, welcome. This is Dania Esperanza. Esperanza means hope, and welcome to Hope Speaks. This is a comeback video. I haven't been here in months. I have been taking the time for grieving. Grieving has stages that are pretty dark, and I went through all these stages and these layers of myself and looking at my dark side, parts of me that I'm not very proud of. And with the stages of grief, we have 5 main stages, and I'm going to read off of my research. It says the stages of grief, also known as the Kubler-Ross model, or the 5 stages of grief, were initially proposed by psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross in her book on death and dying in 1969. These stages are not necessarily experienced in a linear or predictable fashion, and individuals may move through them in different ways. The 5 stages of grief are denial. In this stage, individuals may have difficulty accepting the reality of the loss. They may feel a sense of shock or numbness and may deny that the loss has occurred. I couldn't really be in denial that my father passed away because I literally watched him suffer and pass on, and I was there. That was the person who brought him into the hospital and stayed in the hospital with him the longest. So I experienced seeing the pain, the torture. It kind of made me feel a sense of relief when he was gone, because he was suffering for so long in the hospital, and he didn't have painkiller for the first few days because we were trying to save his life and understand how to fix what was wrong. So he didn't get morphine and very strong painkillers. He basically just had Tylenol as a painkiller, and that was horrible because he used to whisper, telling me how he felt like his body was tearing up into pieces, and that was because his organs were dying. So for me to be in denial that he passed away at the beginning, I couldn't really deny that he was gone. He was gone. But I guess when it comes to me feeling denial, maybe there were moments where I missed him and I forgot that it happened. Like I would be like, oh, it's just weird to explain it. But when you go through loss of someone who passes, you have those moments where you kind of forget that they're gone, and it hits you in your heart, and you miss them like freaking crazy. So denial is one. Then anger, as the reality of the loss sets in, the individuals may experience feelings of anger. This anger can be directed at themselves, others, or even at the situation of or higher power. I definitely was very angry. I was very angry at the building management where my father was, because they handled the situation very wrong. I was angry at my family because some of my family members were acting out very negatively, like my brothers, and one of my aunts said something very offensively, and this all happens during these periods of time. So yes, anger is one of the emotions that I believe I was going through the most. So the pain is real, and I didn't want to record going through that type of emotion. I didn't think that I should kind of spread that. Bargaining. So it says in this stage, individuals may try to make deals or bargain in an attempt to reveal or mitigate the loss. They may make promises to seek ways to regain what has been lost. And I definitely did promise my dad spiritually certain things about spreading his ashes in the Dominican Republic, how we spoke. I called his ex-wife and I asked her if she would come with me. So I believe, like, yeah, making those types of promises. That could I could relate to that. And depression, definitely. This stage involves coming to terms with the magnitude of the loss. Feeling the sadness, the loneliness, and despair may be prominent during this stage, and that is real. You feel a loss of the person, but you also feel like a part of you has been gone. And I think these stages of grief also happen when you go through a breakup, when you are going through a divorce, or you have broken up from a long-term relationship. Even though this was my father who passed away, a relationship is a relationship, and when the person is no longer there, it hurts. And I believe that with divorce and breakups, these type of stages are also real. They do happen to us. So then the next one is acceptance. And acceptance, the final stage, involves accepting the reality of the loss and finding a way to move towards. It does not necessarily mean being okay with the loss, but rather reaching a point of understanding and adaptation to a life without what was lost. So it also further says, it is important to note that not everyone goes through all these stages, and the process of grieving is highly individual. People may experience these stages in different order, and some may revisit certain stages. Additionally, some individuals may not explicitly grow through each stage and may have a more fluid or non-linear grieving process. So basically, everybody goes through these stages differently. It doesn't matter. You could be angry first or in denial or whatever, vice versa. The fact of the matter is that we do deal with all of these stages, and I myself have been really going into the emotion. So as I had read a lot and studied emotional intelligence. The one that with my life coaching certification was directed towards was more like emotional intelligence 2.0. But there's also emotional intelligence 1.0, and that is a self-awareness, emotional intelligence of your own emotions. When these emotions are going through your mind and through your body and your energetic field, they palpitate and they connect with other people around you, and even people who are miles and miles away from you. So when I record, I like to record with love and peace and good energy, good vibes, so that I can share that with everyone else. But when I am going through very deep core depression and sadness, I don't really want to show my face. I don't want to speak. I don't want to share ideas or anything at all, because I don't know how it's going to be received, because I am going to be sending out these messages and with a low vibration, and I want to be on high vibration. Today I said to myself, I need to do a quick video. I need to say hello. I need to show off my red hair. So I'm glad that I colored it. I went back to red because red was a color that I rocked for many, many, many years, and I really do love the red. I went to a friend to get my hair all cut down because the blonde like destroyed my hair. So now I am in the process of healing. Not only am I healing my inner spirit. I'm also healing my outer spirit. I haven't been in the gym, so I had not been feeling as if I was living my authentic self and living step by step to manifest my vision. What I've been doing a lot is sleeping a lot. Like literally, if I don't need to get up super early in the morning, I would just stay in bed all the way until I felt like comfortable enough to come and get out of bed. And I will meditate first thing in the morning before getting out of bed, listening to positive affirmation videos and things like that. And one of my clients kind of motivated me to get back on the horse and do this video, because she has an extraordinary story, and I wouldn't share her name, but I definitely want to discuss this type of situation that we kind of go through as women, and I'm sure maybe even men go through it, but it's about relationships. And I'm going to call my client slash friend, and the person who doesn't mind me using her story, I'm going to call her Jane instead of her real name to protect her identity. But this particular client had gone through a series of unfortunate events, and I had blessed to have her come in and see me, and we have great coaching conversations. And with her situation, we share a similar story, so that's how we have bonded. And unfortunately, she has a really hard story that she can share. I would love for her to write a book or share her experiences, because I believe more of us should be real and authentic and transparent, but it's very embarrassing. It's very shameful. When I first met Jane, she was getting her hair done in another salon, and she was paying over $1,000 to get tape and extensions, because she was having a beautiful wedding in Newport, which is one of the areas that has the wealthiest and the highest, weddings, where the wealthy and the elite like to kind of have their weddings. And she was having one of those beautiful fantasy, wonderful weddings with the love of her life, so she felt. And shortly after getting married, she found out that he was having a same-sex relationship, had a lover, and the man sent her a series of messages with pictures of himself, and the whole story just put her in a state of depression, shock. She had 2 children with this particular man already, and then she had to obviously put in for a separation, then a divorce. The father and the mother of her ex-husband were very upset about it, but they did not know the whole truth. The mother knows the truth now, but the father is still in the dark about the details. So the father holds a lot of anger towards her, wishing that she would have been the done something more for him, and went to therapy and accepted him as he was, because he did know about the same sex sex that his son was having, because he knew about this experience during his son's high school years. He was caught having same-sex sex, and the family did not accept it well, and I guess they believed that he would just grow out of it. He didn't grow out of it, and if anything, he cheated on his wife with another man, and he was paying him off, and it was ugly. So the father doesn't know all those details, and she's been amazing to hold that secret away from their 2 kids, and also from her ex-father-in-law, who is the man who has the financial status in the family and is the one who can help the family financially. So she keeps quiet so that her ex-husband, father of her children, doesn't have a bad relationship with his father. And she's taking one for the team, actually, because at the end of the day, she's looking like the bad wife that didn't want to go to therapy. And the underneath it all, the man ended up her ex-husband ended up having HIV, so she could not go back with him after he contracted HIV as well. So in the midst of her discovering that he was having same sex, she also discovered that he had HIV. Thankfully, her and her children are fine because he got this afterwards. And imagine having to live with this type of secret and holding it away from your children, keeping it away from one of your in-laws so that they keep a healthy and happy relationship with the father. I don't see it as a healthy relationship, because if you are living a lie, if you are living in secret and you have these addictions, whether if it's sex addictions or you're having the same sex behind people's back, and you pretend to be straight but you're actually bi, or you pretend to be bi but you're actually gay, that's not a healthy relationship. You're not having a healthy relationship with yourself, and you're not having a healthy relationship with your partner. So now this particular man has found himself a partner, and he is in a relationship, weirdly enough, because she has not met anyone. She's dated, but unfortunately when she went out to celebrate her birthday in the restaurant that she was in, it was a club as well, and she was roofied, and she ended up getting raped and being left behind the club, left for pretty much almost like dead. And when the people from the club found her the next day, she was filthy, half naked, and she was brought to the hospital. They did a rape kit. They confirmed that she was raped, but she couldn't remember anything. It went to trial, and the person did not do time. It was traumatic for her, and it was just horrific when I found out about it. And she's gone through a series of therapy and medication, and she's really working on herself. I call her like such a warrior and tell her she needs to write a book, and she's doing much better, I believe, now, but she still needs a lot of self-love and to build herself up again. So this particular client, which I will call Jane, has motivated me to get back on here, and I'm going to talk more about how her and I have similarities and why I get her so much, and how I believe we need to have more of these uncomfortable conversations that truly affect us in our lives and make us feel like maybe we're magnets to all of this trauma and drama to keep coming towards us. I know that she's on her way to healing herself. She does a lot of self-hypnosis at night, and that's been helping her with her nervous system. And she has a psychiatrist, but she would love more of like life coaching conversations. And I think by this platform and doing the videos is a good way for me to kind of reach out to her and be able to let her know that she's perfectly fine. It's not her fault why all of these crazy things have happened. It is and it isn't, and I will put myself out there and say that I have to hold myself accountable for the relationships that I have cultivated throughout the years. And some of those relationships have been very toxic, and it has been because I have trauma bonded with a lot of people. I have been in the energy of being a victim for many, many years. And even when I started saying I am no longer a victim, I am a thriver, I was still feeling that sadness and that depression, and I needed to shake myself off. And now is when I am discovering a lot of layers of myself that I am even in love with. I'm embracing the bitch in me. I'm embracing the ugly in me, and I am looking at everything for what it really is. And I'm walking into the emotion emotion. I am embracing the emotion, whether if it's anger, whether if it's pain, no matter what it is. If I don't feel like talking to anyone, I just won't. I'll text instead of talk, and I'll be honest. I'll be like, I'm not feeling well. Today is not a good day. I need to take it slow. I need to have, more water, less caffeine. I need to go for a nature walk, or today I don't want to work out. I want to sleep longer. All these things I needed to do. And now that I've done them, I need to shake myself off. We're in the beginning of the year. I have not made any of the goals that I've had on certain dates. I have missed a lot of dates that I was going to finish this, that, and the other, or goal 1, 2, and 3, and I have not been able to accomplish those, and I had to be okay with that. And that was another problem in itself, feeling guilty about not accomplishing certain things by a certain date, like November or December. There were so many things that I was due to do and accomplish, and I didn't. But I'm okay with it now, because I know that this was a part of the process. We can't miss any steps, and I missed many steps while my dad was passing. And at the very beginning, when he passed, I dropped everything. I was afraid. I actually just told my attorney to just handle everything, because I couldn't do anything, So, I entered the hospital. It was just a real breakdown, because I was on my own. I was alone dealing with all of this. So I had very little resources. And now that I am coming back, I'd like to talk more about real issues and real challenges in relationships, and how we as human beings hold back and keep things under wraps to protect our children, to protect our narcissistic relationships. This particular husband of hers is a narcissist. He said some horrible things to her that set her on a much more deeper depression. Things like that. He wished that the person who raped her would had actually finished the job and taken her life. Who says that? I mean, only a very evil and horrible person says that. So even if he said it under anger or whatever, you just don't say that. I mean, it's just disturbing. So she deals with these types of things, and I was like very moved by her recently when she told me that she feels that I get her and she enjoys our conversations, and I just love her so much, and I believe that she is gonna come out of this like an incredible thriver, and she's an amazing human being. And I'll share more about her story and how her story is also related, very similar to my life story. So welcome back. Like, share, and subscribe. I hope that my red hair is a better liking. I'm looking forward to putting long extensions as well. I'm a hairdresser, so this is going to be fun. So please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back with another video about the stages of grief and breakup, and how grieving and breaking up with a relationship is similar, and how to put yourself back together and move forward and on.